In this lesson we'll take a look at the Format Painter. I've opened up the Format Painter exercise file from my data drive, and this is the one we'll be working on in this lesson. So we've got two tables here and they're both identical. The only difference is that the top one has been formatted with the colour and some slightly different font formatting. The bottom table is exactly the same data, but this hasn't yet been formatted. So we're going to use the Format Painter to apply the formatting that we've got at the top here to this table at the bottom. The Format Painter tool is found up here in the clipboard, and this is the one we'll be using for this exercise. So I'm going to start off by highlighting cell A1. So that contains the newspaper sales text, and it's big, it's red, and it's bold. And I want to apply that to the newspaper sales cell in the bottom table. So I've selected cell A1 with that formatting, and I'm going to click the Format Painter. And you'll see that Excel displays the marching ants, signifying that this cell has been selected and copied. I'll bring my cursor down, and you'll notice now as well that the Format Painter brush has been attached to my cursor. So with my cursor over the cell that I want to format, all I need to do is click, and that will apply the formatting from the selected cell A1 to the second table starting in A13. Now the Format Painter only copies the formatting of the cell. It doesn't copy the content. So I'm just going to see how that works. I'm going to come down to this second table and I'm going to edit week 1 and make it read week 2. So we've got different data now in this part of each of the tables. So again, I'm going to come up to cell A2 and I'm going to click on the Format Painter tool. So you'll see the marching ants appear, signifying that this cell has been copied. And now I'm going to come down to where it says week 2 and simply click. And you'll notice that the formatting of the cell has been duplicated, but the contents of the cell hasn't. Okay, so we've started to format the table. Let's now select one of the cells up in this yellow area. It doesn't matter which cell we select, but what we're going to do this time is to apply the formatting of one cell to a range of cells. So I've selected one cell here, and again I'm just going to come up to the Format Painter. You'll see the marching ants appear, and I'm going to come down to the bottom table, and this time instead of just clicking, I'm going to click and hold my mouse button down and drag across until I've highlighted all of the data that I want to format like this. When I let my mouse button go, you'll see that the formatting has been applied to all of the cells that I selected. Let's format the headings at the top of the table now. So all I need to do is to select the first one, again come up and select the Format Painter tool, and then I'll select the range of cells that I want to format. In this case, the headings along the top of the table here. When I release my mouse, you'll see that that format has been applied. Let's continue on, and this time we'll format the totals. So again, it doesn't matter which cell I select, I can highlight one of these, and this time I want to apply the formatting to this column and these rows. So I can do that by making sure that the Format Painter stays switched on. And to do that, I'll double click the Format Painter. You'll see again that the marching ants have appeared. And now, as I bring my cursor down, you'll see that the Format Paintbrush is attached to my icon. I can then select this group of cells and release the mouse button, and the format is applied. But this time you'll notice that the Format Painter brush is still attached to my mouse icon, and that's because I double-clicked that Format Painter to start with and forced it to stay switched on. So again, I'll highlight this bottom range of cells and release the mouse button, and that format is applied to those cells as well. Now I need to switch my Format Painter off now, so I'll simply come up and click once to switch that formatting brush off. The last thing I'm going to do is to format these cells here, but you'll notice that the bottom part in both of the tables where it says total is set to bold. If I simply select one cell up here and copy the formatting and then apply it to all of these cells, this total cell will end up without the bold setting. So that's not what I want. I want each of the cells to look exactly the same as what we've got here. So this time I'm going to highlight a range of cells in the top part. Once I've done that, I'll come and switch the format brush on, this time just clicking the once. I'll bring my cursor down and highlight the same range at the bottom. And when I release my mouse button, you'll see that all that formatting has been applied, and it's even retained the bold part at the bottom as well. So now both of my tables are formatted in exactly the same way. But let's do the whole thing again, but this time a lot quicker. I'm going to close this file, so I'm going to come up to File and Close. And when it asks me if I want it to save, I'm going to say Don't Save. And the file will close. And now let's reopen that file. So again, I'll come to the File menu, and in the Recent Files list, you should see this file appear right at the top. So if I just click on that one to reopen it, you can see that we're right back at the beginning here. So now what I'm going to do is apply all of this formatting all at once. And to do that, all we need to do is to select the entire area that we want to copy the formatting from. Click on the format brush once, and you'll see that the marching ants have surrounded the entire table that we want to copy. Again, the format painter brush has come next to my cursor, and all I'm going to do now is to highlight the entire table at the bottom here. And this time when I release the mouse button, all of that formatting is applied at once. So that's how we use the Format Painter in Excel 2010.